For more than 1 week, gunmen laid siege on communities in Atiap Chiefdom in Zangon Kataf, leaving scores of persons dead. During the mayhem, residents of 12 communities were left displaced and are presently taking refuge in neighboring villages.
My father was killed and he was born at his room. Then one woman was killed and together with her child. Then one of young boy was killed. Then one of 2 women again are killed. There is not enjoyment like sleeping.
They start shooting, then we started to run away. So by then we start running into the bush. We have about 16 houses burned in our own community. Then people that die in our own community, we have 10 people.
Women and children were seen running for safety with the fear of further impending attacks.
Because they are saying that they want to have the land to be on their own. They want to win their land to be as their own. They want it to be in their own hands so that they can be controlling their land. In our olden days, we live peacefully with them. We play together, eat together, always sleeping, sharing the bed. We don't used to share with them, but in fact, we did many things together. If a Fulani man have a problem, he will come and meet the Tia people to help them. I too, I can go to their place and look for help from them. So as time go on, things just turn around.
What happened in my village, Mate, was very terrible. Because I have a mother that they have born her into inside the room with one of my father, his father to them born it. Then I have a cousin, them cut them, use cutlass to slice them. That's one of my sisters, bought her with her son, they have killed. Then has one of my elder brothers, he also was killed. Then I have one of my, she's mother to me, she was killed, but she's not born.
The latest round of armed violence began on 8 July at Warkan village and later spread to other villages such as Chibori, Magamia, Abuyab, and Ungwan Rohogo. For those who witnessed it, the experience was horrifying.
They burn our village, they burn our houses, they burn our properties. So that is why it made me to be voiced. Even my car too, they burn my car.
The first thing that we'll be hearing, Allahu Akbar. They now shout, all of them, as they are walking in groups. When they say Allahu Akbar, the gun started, ta-taw, 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 ta. That is where we find our position. The cars that they were using is Hilux, and the pens is soldier's pen. And the people that drove from the cars, most of them wear the soldier's uniform. They burn all of our houses. Here is my car. I lost my car, they burn it. And my brother's one here, they burn it. Many of the cars in this village, they burn it. The clothes, everything, even the food that we eat, they burn it. As you see us standing like this is what we were patronized that day with, and it is now in our body. Nothing in our houses again.
After last week's first bloody attack in the chiefdom, the gunmen came back to Obuyab and Ungwaro and unleashed more mayhem.
There are some people that enter here around that kind 11 and they start burning our houses, killing people, scatter our farmland and some properties, even my mattress, but the 4 of them, they don't carry my mattress. Now I don't even have the place where I go enter and sleep now. They enter here, burn our churches and kill our catechists with some people, uncountable people. I can't even count them.
There are those still alive to tell the tale, but from births at the General Hospital, Zankwa, where they are receiving treatment.
In the course of running now, I was shot. 5 people died in the course of that attack. And houses were vandalized. As they were shooting, we believe these were trained people. They were trained people. They can put it on rapid and control it. So a layman cannot just be shooting like that.
Daniel Bomba lost his wife and 3 children in the attack and says he needs government support to pay the medical bills of his 2 surviving sons.
The enemy come and they kill my wife and my children, 3 children and 1 wife.
Victims from other villages also count their losses.
I lost my car and my house. They burned it all. I did not remove anything from my room and my mother's room and my brother's room. All in family, entirely the house, they burned it all.
They enter into the house, they start searching inside this room. After they finish searching, they enter this room and they now come outside. They first put my car fire and one among them turned to the other side. He told them that if you see another car here, they go and fire my brother's car again.
Almost all the houses in this community were set ablaze, cars were burned, and many property destroyed. And the residents of this community are calling on government to come to their rescue as they have no place to raise their head.
Reverend Gambo Waziri, the coordinator of Zankwa Internally Displaced Persons Camp, said the displaced persons are in their situation in urgent need of food, clothing and health care services.
Because we are yet to receive any support from either the government or any other organization. But there are a few individuals that supported us, and even last time when we finished the camp, there are some foodstuff that I know will not be spoiled that I reserved for a day like this. So when this thing happened, I actually went to the store and brought out the food I kept, and it's what we started with, and with my personal money we buy the ingredient and other necessary things that are needed. The government is not really trying, we are not impressed with the steps that the government is taking. Looking at these things are repeating themselves even worse than the way it happened. So the government, I can't say the government is trying, but I am calling on the government to please rise up and face these challenges. I am one of those people that is discouraging that we take laws into our hands. But the way things are going, it's like the government is pushing people to take laws into their hands. Though we are not supporting that, but you know fully well that government is as if government is saying that we cannot protect the people.
Southern Kaduna People's Union, SOKAPU, is urging the government at all levels to take drastic measures to end the killings.
There is serious genocidal attack going on in Southern Kaduna, and there is also humanitarian crisis going on in Southern Kaduna, and the response of government is very poor and shoddy. So we are saying that the authorities that are supposed to protect lives and property should take the business of doing so very seriously. As for now, as far as SOKAPU is concerned, the issue is not getting better, because even this morning there was an attack in a village which has been attacked 4 times before. It's called Abuya. 1 man was killed. This is what has been going on for the past 10 days. There is no single day that Etiabland is not attacked and people killed or people are displaced. So we don't know when this is going to end, but we are calling on the rightful authority to come to our aid and for people of conscience to also intervene. Well, we feel a bit relief now that Meiti Allah itself is going to the fact that they are the ones carrying out this genocide. Because each time we say that the people attacking Southern Kaduna are armed Fulani herdsmen, we are insulted that we are profiling an ethnic group. Now, Meiti Allah has come out clearly to say that it is their members that are doing this to us. We do not know what they mean by conflict. Look at the people that are in this camp, women and children. Many have been buried. What conflict would they have with others? These are people that are sleeping in their homes peacefully after coming back from farm, and then you come in the night, burn their villages and kill them. Our conflict, you say we are fighting over land and over grazing land and all that. Is grazing done in people's home? If there is going to be a so-called conflict, it has to be on the farm. But we have not seen that. So this is pure genocide. The Fulani are killing our people, chasing us out, and they are taking over the land. In southern Kaduna, 108 communities spanning 3 local governments have been taken over by these Fulani, and they are living on those lands now. Those lands, in our own estimation, are over 300,000 hectares. It is many local governments put together in some states. So, is that what you call conflict? It is displacement of people, it is genocide, it is a deliberate plot to take over our land and sit down, and the state and the federal government is not doing anything. The governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, has never visited any of our communities. He has never done anything to show he cares. You can imagine people that have been going through this serious mass murder. We have mass graves dotted all over southern Kaduna. The governor has not bothered to come and see. In fact, the governor, instead of showing sympathy to us, he by himself admitted that he went to foreign countries in West Africa and he paid these Fulani people not to come back. He said that in 2016. And that was when this killing heightened. It went down a little before the 2019 election. It has now come back in full swing. So as far as we are concerned, Governor Nasir El-Rufai is also complicit in this by his utterances and by his action to protect us.
While different stories are being branded as to who is responsible for these senseless attacks, a press statement signed by the chairman of Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Kaduna branch, Haruna Tuga, on 16 July, countered the Southern Kaduna People's Union's 13 July press statement, alleging that members of Miyetti Allah are responsible for the ongoing attacks. Miyetti Allah says the Fulani pastoralists are also victims of the activities of bandits who spare no one, accusing the bandits of constantly rustling cows, kidnapping pastoralists, and killing whenever ransom is not paid as demanded by the criminals. He added that attack on communities by bandits have nothing to do with Fulani pastoralists. At the time of filing this report, efforts to speak to the Kaduna State Police Command were unsuccessful to get their account of the situation and what needs to be done to end this chain of wanton bloodshed and destruction. From Zangon Kataf, Abayo Gandu, AIT News, Kaduna.